What's up, everybody?
Hello. Welcome to the Liquidity event podcast. I'm AJ.
And I'm Shane.
We're your hosts. We got a spicy show today, if I don't say so myself.
All of our shows are spicy.
As a hot sauce connoisseur, what hot sauce would you identify? What is the spirit hot sauce of this week's episode of the Liquidity event?
I'm going to go with the Carolina Reaper on that one.
Oh, wow. It's going to be that spicy?
Which I ate at the New York Hot Sauce Festival last weekend.
Okay.
Weird flex, but okay.
Okay. What are you drinking?
No milk. Milk. I'm drinking a milk with Klonopin. No, I'm having a sour monkey. I like my sour beers, 10% alcohol. It's strong. It's like 3 beers in one. Let's go.
3 beers are better than one. You know what they say.
I love it. I remember when I was younger and there was like, who cares if there's 6% in one beer and 5% in another? It's only
I'm having 7, so it doesn't matter. Well, I'm drinking some bourbon whiskey from Basil Hayden's. I love this stuff.
Gross.
You're gross. Oh, I'm also drinking cold brew that I got at H Mart in Koreatown. That's got BTS, the K-pop band, sponsored, or it's a partnership here. So very excited to drink that all day.
You're drinking cold brew and Basil Hayden's. That's your
Spindrift.
That's your bouge level. Oh my gosh, I can't with that. What are you reading?
I'm still reading that stupid science fiction book, Leviathan Wakes. I have 30 pages.
Leviathan's Wake or Leviathan Wakes? That's a huge difference.
I know. I realize it's Leviathan.
I've
been calling it Leviathan's Wake, and it's actually Leviathan Wakes.
Oh my God. So it's about a Leviathan.
Yes. I'm slightly dyslexic, so excuses all around.
That does happen a lot. My favorite thing about your dyslexia is when you try to do a idiom and it's like, it's raining cats and frogs out here. Like, what?
Or
you do that every single time.
Soup to crust or whatever.
You've been saying soup to nuts so much over the past few months. You actually got that one down. Did you figure out what soup to nuts, like where that actually comes from?
Yeah, it's like a boring, like weird old cooking idiom that's like from the whole meal or something. It's not very interesting. It was so boring, I forgot.
Oh, so soup is a soup, like and then the nuts is like you eat the nuts at the end.
Something like that.
It's not like nuts and bolts.
Not very exciting. No. What are you doing for fun this week?
I had a huge Halloween weekend. Dr.
Scary.
Shots, yet again, 4 years in a row. Always a hit. I dressed up my syringes, which you can fill them up with Fireball or tequila or whatever. And I wrote Moderna and Pfizer and J&J on them.
Yeah,
that was Matt,
our software engineer's idea. That was a great idea.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt. Yes. Everyone loved that.
It was awesome.
Yes.
My sister is coming to town from Seattle. She should be arriving any hour now. I'm very excited to see her. We don't get to hang out that much, so that's what I'm doing for fun. Shall we do an IPO watch?
Let's take a look.
Boom.
Wow, you're finally nailing the sound effects on episode 16.
All it takes is a little Basil Hayden's.
Just took 4 months to get the sound effects locked in.
What do we got here? Oh, we got Nerd Wallet. That's exciting.
Let's talk about Nerd Wallet and Rivian. I feel like those are the two big ones.
Let's do it. What do you got for me on Nerd Wallet?
I don't really have much on the actual S1, but I would like to comment that Nerd Wallet is just an amazing product. It is really cool. Like, if it's just so rare to have a easy answer for personal finance questions. Like people are just surfing through Reddit, reading something somebody posted 3 years ago on how best to minimize credit card interest or what have you. NerdWallet is just an awesome place. It's like one of those, whenever I look for a product, whether it used to be hardware for computers, it would be Wirecutter laptop or Wirecutter. I just did it for hiking boots like two days ago. And whenever it comes to personal finance, I feel like people should be typing in NerdWallet credit cards, NerdWallet home mortgage. Like that is the answer to all those
Yeah,
to all those questions. When it, or
for
you
sure.
know, like at least it's a triangulated, subjective, or as objective as it can be summary on a ton of great topics. And they used to have, I believe that was the one where financial advisors could get paid to post articles that would help them display their expertise in certain areas, and then they would pick up some clients occasionally, or they get paid by NerdWallet. They had a pretty interesting content strategy at the beginning, but at this point, it's just a mountain of great personal finance content, and they're taking it. They're taking it. I think they get paid like so many people do with credit card reward affiliate
Hmm.
links. Yeah,
Yeah,
affiliate links continue to generate
to
giant
just
piles of
dominate.
cash. Yeah,
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah, I like NerdWallet. I also like Investopedia for that reason too. Investopedia is like anything you need to know if you've got some like complicated kind of like equity compensation. Like what is an ESPP? Like Investopedia is going to have a really great like in-depth bias-free advice and explanation of what you're looking for. So
Yeah, so you got Investopedia with just the craziest amount of ads on the site you've ever seen. It's just so overwhelming. But that's that is the Android of sites, and then you've got NerdWallet, which is affiliate links, which is I guess like the Facebook of sites. And then where's the paywall? Where's the pay? Where's the Apple? The pay to no ads, the HBO Max of personal and financial content.
it's Brooklyn FI, baby.
Well, that's definitely not the business model in Brooklyn.
I don't know. I don't personal finance.
Yeah, $20 a month. Pay for the Wall Street Journal personal
Pay for Wall
finance
Street
section.
Journal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe that's it.
I don't know. What else is a paywall? I mean,
Yeah.
like all these sites, Bloomberg, Barron's, all these sources of news all have paywalls now, and that's I guess got to support journalism, got to make money. Ads aren't cutting it, but it sucks. As we're researching articles for this podcast and we're sharing links with y'all, I imagine some of you are clicking on them and there's a paywall and you're going rats. So
Mm. Hmm.
that is the current state of things.
Yeah, I mean to get access to all of them, it's over. It's a few $100s a month. So
Yep.
that's I don't know. It's a smattering.
Yep. We've also got Rivian, revise their S1, targeting an IPO of November 8th. That would be this week. So excited to see what happens there. As you recall, RJ Scaringe, the CEO of Rivian, was my CEO crush of the week 3 episodes ago. I mean, it's a cool company, right? They've been around for a while. They're designing the perfect electric sport utility vehicle. They've got a beautiful truck and a beautiful kind of like Jeep Land Rover looking thing. But really their revenue right now is coming from a partnership with Amazon. They've designed a bunch of Amazon delivery vehicles, and Amazon, I think, what's the stat here? Amazon funneled more than 1.3 billion over the course of Series A, D, E, and F rounds, but it also agreed to purchase 100,000 delivery vehicles, which represents double the total pre-orders Rivian received on the consumer side. So
Wait. So Amazon is funding the company as a venture,
funding the
as a
company,
VC funder, and they're also generating
ordering.
rent. Okay.
Yep.
Is
So, they're pretty in bed with Amazon. It's going to be pretty hard to untangle that partnership, and Amazon, could cut and run at any time and go to the next shiny electric vehicle company to outfit their fleet.
Well, no,
But
they won't. No, they won't, because Tesla, Elon, and Jeff are not going to partner up anytime soon. This is a whole new
well,
slice of
that's
the rivalry going on here.
oh yeah. I mean, Rivian is definitely gunning for Tesla's market share for sure.
This is the dark horse funded by the billionaire. This is essentially
It's a race to
Succession, which is the other thing I'm doing
it's a
for
race
fun.
to race of the space dicks taken to the streets of
Now, here
the
we
highways
go.
of America.
Circle back to the space shodes.
But yeah, so I mean, they have a billion-dollar loss this year so far, expected to lose another $8 billion, over the next couple of years. So the path to profitability seems long and rocky, and I don't know, whatever the idiom is. But we will see what happens. Raising the IPO will get them, if the underwriters decide to purchase their shares, at just over $9 billion, which is cool. So they'll use that to fund production and produce a bunch of really cool looking trucks. I mean, they're beautiful. I want one. I really
Who's
do.
your rivalry encourages competitiveness and really drives a lot of people to do incredible things. Some of my best friends, the most successful people that I know, are driven by rivalry and competitiveness. Do you have a rival? And I have a follow-up question if you give me your rival.
I'm looking right at him right now.
No, yeah, well, saw that coming. So if you, I love the because so Jeff is funding and buying from this startup, which is a competitor for, which is Tesla, a competitor to Elon's Tesla, obviously. So, what would you do if you won the Powerball? What would you do to me with all of your newfound gains? I used to love to imagine the ridiculous shit I would do to people that had wronged me in the past if I was a billionaire, like buy a house right next to theirs and constantly like are all the houses around theirs and just be a constant nuisance with
Yeah, if we
my
if we had a falling out, I think it would be to go right for where it hurts you. So I would probably outfit like a giant fleet of beautiful racing sailboats. Like live aboard beautiful racing sailboats and park them right next to you and just throw parties and
I
scuttle
would
around
love
and fill
that.
it with.
No, wrong answer. I would love
But
that.
you're not invited.
I don't
That's the
care.
thing is
I'm
you can see
surrounded
it.
by
But
beauty. I'm into it. I don't give a shit. Wrong answer. Try again. All right, all right. We got a lot of articles to cover. You, of course, have a Zillow article. You're the big Z
oh my God.
head here. You've
This
endorsed
is a sad
Zillow.
article. Yeah. So Zillow, I think was a couple weeks ago, there was some whispers, Zillow's getting out of the home selling business, or they weren't at that point. They were just in a lot of the markets where they had piloted this program where they were actually buying homes, paying contractors to flip them, and then trying to sell them again. So basically cutting out the real estate agent piece of the real estate transaction. Apparently that's not working, and they were losing a lot. So they shut down that business, and they had to fire a quarter of their labor force. So super sad news for the people who lost their jobs. My Instagram was like blowing up with all the like real estate agents and realtors that I follow on Instagram. All of them were like posting this article like, see, you got to have a realtor, you got to have an agent, on to speak for you when you're buying a home and when you're selling a home. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think the real estate market is ripe for disruption. I just don't think Zillow is pulling it off in the right markets is my take here. So good try, Zillow, but I look forward to the next person coming for that. For those of you who have never bought and sold a house before, typically a real estate agent gets 6% when you sell a house, like right off the rip, just for sometimes, if you find a home on Zillow, they match you with an agent, it can feel like they're not doing very much. I'm sure I know some wonderful real estate agents who have done amazing work for my friends and me personally, but I don't know. I have a lot of, I think there's a lot of room for tech to disrupt these transactions.
It's been going strong since the 90s. There's been a lot of, I mean, real estate. It's not that people aren't trying. That 6% number, it hasn't budged in 30 years.
Yeah, it's nuts. Speaking of buying and selling homes and building them, this article is so wild.
Is this Charlie Munger?
So Charlie Munger, who's a billionaire, second in command basically at Berkshire Hathaway, right next to Warren Buffett. He decides to design donate a dorm to house students at USC in LA, and apparently it's just like a windowless fortress. And so he, who is not an architect, has no architecture license of any kind.
Why did he design? He's an investment manager. Why is he designing dorm rooms? He's in his 90s.
Maybe it's a rivalry. Maybe he's got a rivalry with someone, and that's how he's gonna mess them up. Maybe he's got a rivalry. Maybe he's got a rival who's got kids who are freshmen at USC, so they're gonna live in this sad, depression-inducing, windowless prison shithole dorm that he's designed. That's my theory.
Him and Warren are both advocates of just like extreme, like essentially monk-like living. Like Warren still lives in his same house in Omaha that he's lived in since like, what do you mean? No, seriously. What do you mean? You don't know? He does not have what do you mean? Yeah, they're both worth billions of dollars, but they do still live in they live like monks, and not like monks, but like they live in, rustic throwback. It's the classic thing where the CEO still drives a Hyundai or whatever, or a Honda from years ago. And these old boys are still, there's actually a photo of them drinking Coca-Colas in a golf cart.
Oh yeah, it's
on
great because one of them's got a regular Coke and one of them's got a Coke Zero.
the one
Which I
that's
don't know
gonna
why I
die
found that so
sooner.
funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, he designed this
Munger Hall.
depressing dorm, and the architect just quit in protest and said, "I'm not building this like prison for students. No one's gonna get any sunlight here."
There's no windows.
Yeah, there's no windows.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? There's a boardroom, it looks like, in the middle where they can, make decisions
Hang out
on
with
value
Munger.
stocks. Yeah.
Hang out with Charlie.
Yeah. That's what kids do in Southern California. They like to
Try to find the next Starbucks.
pick stocks in windowless rooms. Yeah. Find the cigars that haven't quite been smoked yet.
Oh,
Is the
man.
analogy they use for value investing. All right, what else do we have here? True cost of upgrading your phone.
Oh yes. How much? I just upgraded my phone. It cost me $1,100. What is the true cost?
No. According to this article, it cost you $1 million.
Well, actually, it costs me about
$1 million.
You paid for half of it, but
the 50%
discount.
Oh God.
Wait, why does my iPhone cost $1 million?
It's bullshit. It's this classic. It's the Susie Orman is literally quoted in this.
Oh
I don't know if it's bullshit, but it's like, if you pay for something now, you could have put that in the market. You could have put it in the market. And if you extrapolate the market out over the next 90 years, it would have been worth $1 million.
Oh my God, is this latte bullshit again?
It's the latte stuff.
Oh no.
The time value of money. If you really understand the time value of money, it will save you.
Mansplain the time value of money for
Just because I explain things and I'm a man does not mean I'm mansplaining things. What I'm trying to say is that if you understand time value of money, which Brooklyn FI is happy to explain to you in depth, in detail, then you get to skip over articles like this. They don't get to bother you anymore. And you can just say, no, Susie. No, Susie. I'm not part of the contingent of people that are biting from this apple. Yes, money that you could have invested in the market will be worth more in the future. That's fucking investing. Sure. I get it. And articles like this continue to prey on people's ignorance and and it's like anxiety clickbait from the Times that I wish that it's like elevated anxiety clickbait. There's not a lot of ads. It's just slightly a little bit. It's whitewashed
by the on edge
by the gray lady.
Right?
Yeah. So feel free to ignore this one, listeners, dear listeners. What's more fun from the New York Times is the 37-year-olds are afraid of the 23-year-olds who work for them article.
Oh no.
Relevant. Yeah. So 37. I'm 34. You're 39.
Yes, that's correct. I'm 33 and a third on November 8th. I will be celebrating my 33 and a third birthday in style.
I'm glad everyone knows that now. What is it with y'all and what is it with women and
what is it with women and birthdays?
What is it with women? It's not even a real birthday. No, it's
33 and a third is a special number to me. But anyway, what? So we're 4 years away from being afraid of 23-year-old employees. That's the deal here.
Yeah, I think we fall within. We're within 10% of the. So I think this
article
millennials
says, are afraid of the Gen Z.
Yeah, because they're woker than us. They're scarier than us. They're more. Oh, according to this article, I don't actually believe that. We have some fantastic Gen Z employees that work for us. But yeah, I'm
a little afraid of them, though. Aren't you?
I'm afraid of everyone. Humans are wild. If you're listening to this, you're wild.
Thanks for being wild with us. That's the show. Just kidding.
No, but yeah, like they talk about like the new. This is a classic. The kids are all right, but they're also like they're trying to define their own path, and it's been going on for thousands of years. It's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's scared of the younger generation. The younger generation is more focused on themselves than we ever were because our older generation was just different, and we had to appease them, and they're not appeasing us. It's like, yeah, everyone wants to live their own life and set their own rules, and that's just what culture is.
I guess so. I don't know. I am grateful for my place in history in that I feel like we were one of the last generations to grow up a little bit without the internet, without phones. I didn't have a cell phone until 8th grade.
Oh, so you feel bad for the world that Gen Z had to grow up in.
Yeah, I mean, there's it's
Completely
the
digital. There was no
completely
pre-digital.
digital.
Yeah.
Sure that they have access to everything at their fingertips, but I don't know. I like went outside a lot as a kid and like did weird stuff and went over to friends' houses and just like wasted time and explored things. And I feel like all these I see like 7-year-old on the subway like scrolling through like Instagram. Like that's not good. I think, of
Dude, Gen Z children, did y'all jump on trampolines? Was that a thing
course,
for y'all? They
y'all
think
we're the same generation. We're a year apart. We're less than a year apart.
Gen Z was born in '97. That's no. I'm not calling you. No, that was a rhetorical question
Oh, okay.
to the Gen
All right.
Zers out there.
All right. The big backyard trampolines. Yeah, you had like the rich friend who had like the sick backyard trampoline with the net sometimes on the side.
We didn't have a net. We
Oh, you didn't have a net?
that's that's
Down in
the
Mississippi.
that's the generational divide. We didn't have no fucking net. We jumped off the roof onto the trampoline in my house. there was a there was a moment where my mom noticed that the kids would run into the house, up the stairs, and then they would run in the backyard door. And she was like, wait a second. And she went out the
What's
backyard
happening here?
and saw us jumping off the roof onto the trampoline. All right, what else you got? What else we got here? Oh, you got the supply chain woes thing. You said that our head of operations could fix the whole supply chain.
Yeah.
Well, in this article,
I
speak
mean,
on that.
honestly, there the supply chain's broken. There's thousands of container ships sitting off the coast of
This is
the port of
huge.
Los Angeles.
This is huge.
Huge global economic meltdown problem. I've read all the articles. I still don't understand it. It's like there's lots of factors. I get it. The
You tell me
supply chain,
logistics are complicated?
yeah, logistics are complicated. We broke it. There was a massive disruption in human behavior. People stopped going out and consuming things and going to work, and they were just buying shit for their houses, and that broke the supply chain. But yes, I did tell our Slack channel that our head of ops Alexa could fix the global supply chain in about 3 weeks if given the opportunity. So shout out Alexa.
It's no coincidence that her name is Alexa.
Mm.
Yes, it is. Okay. And that's also why I call my Echo, my Alexa Echo, because every time I say, hey, Alexa.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I think everyone at our company by this point has changed the name of their Amazon device because we have an employee named Alexa. Science and the future.
Yeah.
You got this article here. Tell me about it. You love trucks.
I used to have a 1971 Chevy C10 pickup truck when I lived in Austin, and that baby was beautiful. She had a Hawaiian license plate that said Cali Girl because a Navy dude who had it in Hawaii when he was in the Navy. Apparently, the Navy will ship your vehicles wherever you go in the world when you get out of the Navy for free. So he shows up in Texas with this.
Unless there's a global supply chain meltdown.
Yeah, I don't know if that policy still exists. Just kind of like Gusto's fly anywhere in the world policy. But when after a year of service, I don't remember. But yeah, so where I'm going with this is I beautiful. I think everyone loves beautiful American short bed, late 60s, early 70s pickup trucks. And Ford is rolling out a retro designed electric version of a short bed truck, and it's beautiful. It's got a short bed. It's only 2 doors. It screams Friday Night Lights, but it is electric, and it's beautiful. I might fucking get one of these. This thing's pretty cool. I don't know.
You're gonna get that? I'll get a Rivian. We'll just be flexing all the time.
Yeah, you pop the hood. There's no engine under there. Diesel and gas engines, they're so messy. Not a huge fan of that. A lot of maintenance, a lot of oil. The interior is kind of whack, honestly, but they look pretty. They look pretty sexy. I'm not gonna lie. So,
all right.
I'm just saying, check it
When
out.
is it going to be available? Is it like this is a concept that's going to be available, like Rivian, where it's like here it's available, but it's going to take us 10 years to develop the technology and get the design right?
I don't know. I can't read. I'm an accountant.
Yeah, okay.
I know numbers. Yeah, and I can't find the numbers in the article. I just look at the pictures.
Unveiled. Yeah, unveiled a picture means some graphic designers talked to some engineers and made a concept. But no, it does look beautiful. Next week we'll have an update of when this is actually going to be available.
Or not.
You've got mail.
Boom.
You've got mail.
We've got a listener mail question. Ooh. Should I buy an apartment in NYC? Is that a good investment? What do you think?
God.
Here we go.
Oh man, I feel
Gird your loins, folks.
I'm woefully inadequate to answer real estate questions. I'm a nomad by nature, and roots give me the heebie-jeebies. So any real estate questions, honestly, and I used to worry about this when I first got into financial planning because the returns on investment for real estate are lauded thoroughly by everyone. It's just common knowledge. It's kind of like street knowledge, like common sense that real estate is a great investment. If you actually look under the hood, throwback to the last article. If you actually look under the hood on a it's the end of the day. Give me a fucking break.
Oh my God.
The numbers don't add up most of the time when it comes to real estate investment. It's about a 3.5% return on investment. If it's a rental real estate property, it's a part-time job. So what is the hourly wage of, or like, what is the hourly worth of your time? Some people value themselves at $20 an hour. Some people value themselves at $400 an hour, some at $1,000, whatever. If you figure that out, you roll that into the calculations, it's just too hard. Like most people aren't great at figuring out return on investment because it's not human nature. Human nature is to run away from tigers and to take care of the people close to you in your social network. It's not intended to figure out the 15-year long-term return on investment of a property investment. So people don't get that right because because their parents bought a house in 1961 for a pack of cigarettes and they sold it in 2015 for $800,000 does not mean that there was an actual great return on investment when compared to other investments, which is really important. You got to know what the stock market did over that period of time. So I'm not great at answering that question because I'm not a fan of real estate. What do you think? What do you got for people? I mean, form of consumption.
I think we can. Yeah, it's. Should I buy an apartment in New York City right now? Is that a good investment? No. As I agree with you, Shane, is it a good investment for your money? No. When is buying an apartment a good idea instead of renting? Well, I don't know. If you have a family and you're kind of sick of maybe you don't want your landlord to sell the building and have to move, school districts or things like that. Like, and for me, a good reason to buy an apartment is all emotional, right? It's like, I'm sick of being uprooted, or I mean, honestly, a lot of our clients are very enticed by historically low interest rates on mortgages. So if there's an opportunity to get in to borrow, $800,000 on $1 million apartment at 2.5%, yeah, that's a pretty good use of leveraging, a bank who's able to loan you this money, and you have 30 years to pay that off. So I don't know. I think the New York City market right now is too expensive for most people. So I think that the New York City part of this question kind of invalidates it for me. But I don't know. I've become my anti-real estate heart has melted away a little bit.
Right. So the positive thing is it is a social marker and an affirmative thing to be able to say that I've got more power when compared to others because I'm not renting and no one can kick me out. And the price of that is higher than most people think because they think it's an investment and it's a pure investment and not a form of consumption. And some people think you can pay for the flexibility. And if somebody turns you down or rejects you or moves you away, as long as you've got social security or financial security, you can just move on to the next available.
Yeah, also
option.
In New York City, there's so many apartments to rent in a market like New York. New York's a renting town. So I'm always like, why are we all obsessed with buying these $6 million brownstones that are going to flood every time there's a, category 2 hurricane? It's just such a pain in the ass to own an apartment. That's why I have chosen to no longer be a homeowner. I have some rental real estate horror stories, which we'll share for another time. Yeah, is buying an apartment in New York City a good investment? It's probably going to be a no from me.
Cool. Well, there we are. We'll expand on that later. We have some no-brainers here. What do we have?
Ooh, mine is in the kerfuffle that is the airports in New York and Los Angeles, using a car service. Car in New York City, Carmel. Schedule your pickup. It's cheaper than an Uber. It's cheaper than a taxi. If you're getting home late at night, Subway's not going to work. It's going to take you 2 hours to get home. Schedule that. Feel like a boss. They show you land. You call them. Guy whisks you away in a one of those nice black town cars. It's great. How about you?
If you're listening to this in 2023, this will be totally irrelevant to you. But for those of you listening to it on our weekly schedule with the supply chain jammed up, I do recommend that you go ahead and order any holiday gifts should they be necessary now. You got
wait. I
you
have
got
a quick story.
45 days now. Even if they suck, at least you have something that you
tried
didn't have
so
to get
hard.
from a local spot and wherever you celebrate the holidays. And
Well,
it being
we also
a
support
little
local
bit
businesses,
lackluster.
so let's not count out the local businesses and holiday shopping at our local stores. But
That's
I
not what I
tried
said.
so.
That's not what I said.
What'd you say?
Get it now. If you go to your local stores a month from now, all that stuff's going to be
Oh,
gone
it's
because
not gonna be
other people
available.
are going to be thinking ahead of the curve. Our job is to put our listeners ahead of the curve. And what I'm telling you now is to get
Is
ahead
go
of the
shopping
goddamn
now.
curve.
Gotcha,
Like
gotcha.
before
Okay.
Thanksgiving. Like
Yeah.
Black Friday is going to be messy. It's not going to be what you think it is if you participate in that terrifying charade.
Oh my god.
One of my fondest memories of hanging out with my mom as a child was doing Black Friday
Oh
when
my
I was
God,
like 10, 11, 12,
always.
13. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I tried to get ahead of the holiday craze and get my husband some gifts early, and it got stolen. The package got stolen from my apartment, so now I'm in a dispute with UPS.
Are you sure it got stolen, or was that your rival?
Did you
revving
steal
up,
my
revving up?
artisanal canned salmon from Alaska?
I'm not rich yet, so these are my petty ways of chipping away at this boulder.
All right, last little bit here. My CEO crush of the week this week is
Crushed
Joe
it.
Thomas. Crush that one. Joe Thomas, who's the CEO of Loom, which is a product we use all the time here at Brooklyn FI. It's a fantastic video and screen recording software that's super easy to use. Super young CEO. I believe he's younger than us, Shane. Doesn't that make you
Fuck that
jealous? Yeah,
No.
exactly. Love what they're doing at Loom. Seems like
His
a great
dad's
place to
rich.
work. Shut up. All right, this has been the Liquidity Event. You can email us at liquidityevent@brooklynfi.com. You can leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the air. That's podinbox.com/theliquidityevent. Show notes, brooklynfi.com/episode 15. Thanks so much for hanging with us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.